Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
I am Vito Sanzone. I'm in Toronto, Ontario, and I put the healthiest nutritional supplements on the market for people all over the world who want to live better and age better.
Awesome. So how do you go about doing that? Tell me just more about your company.
Well, Promino Nutritional Science is a company that seeks patents that are available in the nutritional supplement space. And the one we've landed on is a patent of an essential amino acid blend. This is a blend of the 9 essential amino acids at a hyperdose that has been studied out of the University of Arkansas for over 20 years. And $23 million has been spent on this patent. This patent was started with NASA funding 23 years ago to find a way to send astronauts to orbit and have them not lose so much muscle mass as can happen in orbit. So that's where the funding started for this. That supplement was used. This amino acid blend was used for space travel. And then it was studied in multiple situations that required massive, quick healing of muscle. And those include surgeries like hip replacements, knee replacements, and burn victims, people who had suffered 80 or 90% burns across their body who could not get out of a bed. This supplement was given to them, and on bed rest, they added not only muscle mass, but it sped the recovery of the entire process significantly. So we looked at this patent a few years ago and said, this has all kinds of use in the general population. For starters, people who work out, they can use this to build muscle and repair muscle quicker and better than whey protein. That's been shown to be the fact in multiple studies. Whey protein, long considered, the best muscle building supplement on earth, because it was until this came along. And that's our big story is whey protein is good, but a thing of the past. Whey protein works, but it's got a lot of sugar, a lot of calories, a lot of byproduct, a lot of filler, carbohydrates, things that people necessarily don't want. Many people experience a sluggishness or a discomfort with whey protein, especially if taken for years. And with this amino acid blend, which we call Promino, there is no sugar, virtually no calories, and no fillers at all. So it's essentially a water that has a great look and flavor. Think of something that looks like Gatorade and tastes 5 times better. That's what Promino is. And we are happy to introduce this to the market, which we just have.
That's amazing. So, yeah, it's just really cool, right? And I think that with what you're doing, there's a huge educational component because what you're explaining to me is obviously news. I work out, I drink protein, but it's awesome that you have something that's better and healthier. So how have you gone about this education process? And what is your plan to get in front of more people to educate them about this?
Well, first, we start local. So there's the granular level. Like you said, you work out, you take whey protein. I always worked out, I took whey protein. So I started with the people that I know who are athletes and avid workout folks, whether it's spinning or cycling or yoga or whatever. People who I know go to it all the time. So we put this in the hands of those people in the early versions of it, right? We put it in their hands, not only got great feedback from them on flavor and consistency and all those important things that you want to have checked off when you bring a product to market, but when I went to the pro athletes that I know and said, please try this out, this is one of the best things ever. And within 30 or 40 days, each one of them got back to me and said, my God, this really works. This is fantastic. So for many of them, they push the whey proteins aside and don't go a day without taking Promino now. So it is that core audience that I know gets a response to it that is phenomenal. And that's how we tested it to bring it public. There were now teams. We have professional sports teams on it in their locker rooms. We provide it in certain markets just to get a buzz going about Promino. So, for example, the strength and conditioning coach, performance director of the Golden State Warriors is on our team, and he's brought this into their locker room, given it to several players there over the last couple of years to try it out. Feedback has been immense. The Las Vegas Lights, the USL soccer team, is on it. That's Jose Bautista's team in Las Vegas. And the NHL Knights, the Golden Knights out of Las Vegas, one of their key players, Jack Eichel, has come on board as a representative of the Promino product. And he has shared it with several of his players on the team. And in a few months, we'll start providing that product to everybody on those teams, right? So it'll be in locker rooms. We're in discussions with a few major universities to start putting it in their student athlete nutrition centers so that this can be used in game, during their workout sessions, post game. So it's a product that we are educating, unfortunately, one by one, right? And that's the old-fashioned way. Now, because the product has just launched literally this week, we are going to be spending online to drive it first. It is listed with a few of the major online supplement stores like VitaCost, obviously Amazon, and things like that. And it's on our own drinkpromino.com. But also, we will be pushing a big direct-to-consumer effort with email and pushing out via Meta and all of that. So that's an important part of our education game is going to be social media and email. I'm a fan of email. Email works.
100%. So yeah, it's interesting, right? Because like your product, like I was looking at, only has 15 calories. So it's essentially getting people to rethink protein. Like protein is a recovery for an athlete. It's not like a meal replacement, right? Because that's your product. It's more so you're going to work out, you're going to take this product afterwards. And you don't need to have 200 calories or 300 calories. You can have a better recovery without having a whole meal per se.
Correct. A lot of athletes do not like to work out and then take down a heavy, thick substance. It takes the high off their workout, right? So this is like drinking water. Plus you feel this one working immediately because it's a liquid and it's a hyper dose of essential amino acids. As soon as it hits the gut, the body starts utilizing it for muscle repair. And that is the key thing. Whereas whey protein has to be a little bit digested and parts of it are used and parts of it go to waste. This is mostly absorbed 100% by the body. It's very bioavailable. And in addition to repairing muscle, people swear, I can't market these things, but they say it leads to a better sleep, leads to better focus, probably because they're getting deeper, better sleep. So there's a lot of benefits beyond the patent, I call them. Like the patent will lay out lots of benefits, like 48% increase in strength for those who lift or measure that. This easily digestible super supplement is just a benefit all across the board.
Hey y'all, it's Dan Melnick, the CEO of Zing. And I wanted to share a special offer for all of our listeners. Right now, if you need software development services, we'll give you 2 weeks of a free trial. Do you need to update your website? Do you want to build a mobile app? Do you want to update something that you've been working on for a long time? We've worked in a high-level technologies like AI, machine learning, blockchain. So shoot me a text, 817-874-2208. Thank you.
Makes sense. So do you have athletes that also take whey protein like along with your product, or is it just like a strictly replacement product? I guess like what is your kind of thought there?
Well, it's both. Like there are people that habits are hard to change, right?
Right,
So
right.
there's a lot of people that say, well, I do my whey protein every day. I said, well, just put the Promino in with it. When you mix it up, put it in there. So they do that and they report very good results. And others, after they take this on its own for a week or two, they say, I'm done with the whey protein and omit it because they didn't like the way it made them feel. So it's both, on types.
100%. So you mentioned that you're in Canada, right? So with direct to consumer, obviously there's different methods. So are you focused on Canada first, or are you going to go in the US market? Like, what does that look like for you in terms of
No, I'm an
strategy?
American serving time in Canada, as I put it. So, no, our focus is the US. We do service Canada. We do care about our customers here because we can easily reach them. We can go out the door and literally talk to them. So, we do service Canada very well. It's very important to us. But the focus of our business, both for retail and direct to consumer, is North America, like the States primarily.
Understood. So in terms of retail, right, or even food service, like what is your strategy? There are certain, organizations, like you mentioned, obviously sports teams, that's a great fit. But, in terms of retail or even like other places, where are you planning on having your product, or where could you see your products?
Well, the product will be, and I hope to announce this in weeks, at one of those big specialty stores that everybody knows. It'll be in one or the other coming up soon. And additionally, look, it's online. That's where people are. Then the mom and pop supplement stores all over the country, those will be available. This product is available to them through certain distributors. So we believe it'll be accessible to anybody who hears about it and wants it. Most people, they'll hear about it on social, and there'll be multiple links there of where to buy it. Right. So you mentioned food service. Food service is an interesting thing. One of our focus groups for this product is, I mentioned the patent and the extensive research that has been done on this. So we recently brought on a doctor out of the University of Toronto called Dr. Patrick Gunning. He's one of the most well-respected doctors in all of Canada for cancer research. And when we presented him with Promino, his immediate idea was this would be a heck of a product for people undergoing chemotherapy treatment, because one of the unfortunate byproducts there is the rapid loss of muscle mass. Rapid muscle mass loss leads to a weakness, and people who are fighting cancer need all the strength they can get. So we are starting a preclinical in Toronto at the University of Toronto with Promino for folks on chemotherapy. And we anticipate that will be a very beneficial supplement for people undergoing chemotherapy.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's awesome that you're bringing so much value to the world with this product. So I was looking on your website and you have 2 different flavors now. So are you planning on having more flavored or different product lines? Like, kind of what are you thinking in terms of like the pipeline of different products?
Different products and different versions. Yes, we've already got a few in the pipeline. That same doctor at the University of Toronto is also starting a preclinical on people who are on GLP-1 weight loss drugs. So that class of drugs, which is very popular, has led to a phenomenon called Ozempic face, where people seem to lose all their muscle mass and look like skeletons. So again, people on Wegovy and Ozempic and those types of drugs lose weight, but they also lose a hell of a lot of muscle, which is not a healthy thing. So this product, it looks like, will be also very beneficial for those folks. So we are thinking of putting out a specific version just for the GLP-1 marketplace.
Makes sense. So obviously nowadays, many companies are using high-level technology like AI. So do you currently use that in the business? And if not, like, where do you think it could come in and may give you some value in 2024?
AI is something I am personally not that familiar with. So it is one of those things I know I don't know about, so I don't talk about it. So I have to reserve a good weekend at some point and go learn about AI or go to some seminar about that, because I fool around with it, but I have yet to see how I can apply it in my business because we're at a very early functional stage. I mean, this isn't my first company. There's a process we have to go through just to commercialize something. And we've brought it to market. Our concern is just making it available to people and then getting the word out. I imagine AI can be helpful there, but I can't tell you how at this point.
For sure. So what would you say is the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you became the CEO of this company?
One piece of advice is, God, double check everything all the time, right? I took over a company that was not in great shape, right? But what I found under the hood was a lot of issues related to bad management and that type of thing. So I was eager to jump on because I loved the product idea and the product as I knew it could be executed. But there was a lot of cleanup to do. So it was a heavy cleanup before. So we burned 6 or 7 months of just cleaning up a company and getting in a position to launch a product. So that work is behind us now, but you can't get that energy back sometimes, right? But it was a lot of work where I say, God, if we had just started this from scratch, if it was a start from zero, we would probably be 7 months into a very bright future already, but as it turns out, we're just starting now. So I'm just whining a little bit, but I wish I knew the extent of the company prior to taking it over.
For sure. But it's better. I mean, first of all, you have an amazing product. So it's better late than never. But yeah, I mean, for sure. I always say, right, like those things can be fixed, but great products sell themselves. So speaking of that, if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your business?
I see Promino ubiquitous in the locker rooms, and I see it with athletes. A year from now, I expect there to be a ready-to-drink version in a plastic bottle.
Yes.
So you don't have to get a powder and mix it. You just grab one out of the fridge and use it. I imagine when we release that in about second half next year, like early third quarter, I anticipate this will launch big. It will go very big. I'm thinking big box clubs, and I'm thinking a couple other very strategic places, not to mention multiple pro sports locker rooms. And I think you'll see this thing courtside and everywhere athletes are, this will be.
Do you see it like in a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven, for example?
Yes, when that RTD comes out, I expect it to be there. Sure.
Yeah, because I feel like that those places, like at least for me, sometimes even like when I'm on the go, I get like a protein product. I'm thinking like if you can have something that's on the go, but also high quality, which is rare to find, I mean, that's an amazing thing. So if somebody watching this wanted to reach out to you, do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
Yeah, the best way is through the website, www.drinkpromino.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Excellent, Dan. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.